Hey, Patrick Malone here with Kickstart Local. If you ever wondered how to utilize social media advertising to grow your business, you're going to want to stick around for this video. Today, I had the pleasure of interviewing my friend and client, David Simcox, who's been using social media advertising to help grow his real estate business. And he also owns a local gym here in Bluffton. And today, we're actually going to sit down with him and talk about all the pros and cons and how you can leverage social media advertising in your business. We're going to talk about all the pros and cons when it comes to social media advertising and things that you should prepare for when you start your advertising campaign. Hey, what's up everyone? Patrick here with Kickstart Local, and I'm here with my good friend, serial entrepreneur, gym owner, and low country real estate superstar, David Simcox. Today we're going to talk about social media management, or actually social media advertising, and how he's been using it to grow his gym and his real estate business over the last couple of years. So David, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Pat. Glad to be here.
Awesome. I'm glad that you took the time to jump on this call with me. So why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your business and what you do?
Sure. So I have two businesses. My first business is I own a gym, like a functional fitness gym that used to be a CrossFit gym. Now we're not a CrossFit gym, but do very similar type of activities. So we run 7 or 8 classes a day. We've got about 14 or 15 coaches that coach small groups of people, 10 to 15 athletes as we call them. And, I've been doing that for about 16 years, and I've had this business here in the low country for about 7 years, and it's called May River Fitness. That's business number one. And then my other one is I am a real estate broker, and I work with Realty One Group, low country, and I don't own the company, but I work for myself as an independent real estate agent.
Excellent. And I think we actually met several years back, and at that time, I think you were mostly just focused on the gym, but you were getting into the Facebook ads, and that's kind of, my wife was training at your gym, and then she introduced us, and we kind of became friends, and I started helping you with some of your website stuff and some of your Facebook ads, and now you've grown that to, what you're doing now, which is super successful, using more than just social media ads. You've grown Google stuff, and I know you're doing some YouTube stuff, but today we just really want to focus on, social media management, so like Facebook and Instagram. So why don't you talk a little bit about some of the success you've had with both businesses, if you can, using Facebook ads, like how have we been able to, kind of walk you through that process?
Yeah, I think the big thing to take away with any kind of social media ad is it's really, it's a lead. It's not a closed sale. I think a lot of people look at any kind of marketing and they think that somebody's going to call them up waving their checkbook and saying, I'm ready to do business with you right now. And it's really, if you look at it like a big funnel, the top of the funnel is where all the leads come in. And it takes a lot of work to get them out the other end of the funnel. I'd say the gym has been a little bit to convert people into customers. With the gym, for years, we were just running a 2 free week ad on Facebook, offering people 2 free week trial at the gym. And we got quite a few people, and almost everybody who responds to that ad actually shows up and takes advantage of that 2 week free trial. And I'd say most of those people, or a large percentage of them, turn into, long-term customers. And for us, like, lifetime value of a gym customer is, over $1,200 per year, because our membership is like $100 per month. The real estate business is a little bit different, because instead of people saying they're going to spend $100 per month, you're asking them to spend $500,000 to $1 million on a piece of real estate. It's not really an impulse type of buy, something they're going to really think about and take into consideration and do their due diligence. So for those, we have a lot more leads coming in, and it takes a lot of nurturing to get those people across the finish line. And only a very small percentage of the folks will actually cross the finish line with us. So, I might have, 500 to 1,000 leads. I don't know, in a matter of like a year. I don't know the exact number. I'd have to look. And that might only turn into, 5 sales. So you got to really comb through and sort through and talk to these folks. And you might have to sort through 500 leads to find 5 deals. But when you're making $20,000 per deal, you're making $100,000. And if you, spent money for 500 leads, it's still a home run financially. It just takes a lot of nurturing to get through those leads.
Yeah, absolutely. You made a good point. I think managing and setting expectations, and I've been doing this for a long time, and every market's different when it comes to social media ads. You have, higher price points, like purchasing a home is going to be a lot, more difficult buying decision than joining a gym or going to a chiropractor or getting massage. So having that follow-up system and knowing that up front that it's going to take some time to nurture those leads is super important. And that's one of the things that myself has come to realize is I need to coach our clients on that process, that these aren't always people. It's possible, right, that you might get a lead that's ready to buy a house in the next few weeks, but that's like a unicorn. Most of them, you're going to have to know that it's going to take some follow-up system, and we can help coach our clients with that. Our job is really to get the people to raise their hands. So like, knowing what what's your follow-up system like? Like, how often do you follow up with these leads?
So honestly, it's different for the gym and for the real estate stuff. So the gym stuff, I honestly don't want to invest that much time into that business because it's not my main bread and butter. It's more of a hobby. So on the Facebook ads, it basically takes them to a page that if they want to redeem this free 2-week trial, I basically just put the phone number for our gym manager on that page and they can call and book that with her. And also we've been doing something like a one-on-one personal training session, 5 times personal training session that they go through with them. And then they get a free 2-month trial. And we've tested some different offers, but really, I don't really want to have to call those people and cultivate those relationships because I'm really busy selling real estate, Yeah. So for that one, I don't want to have to nurture those. So I just put the phone number to the gym manager, which is Lindsay. And then if those folks want to take advantage of that offer, they have to call her. There's probably a better way to do it where I could get a better conversion rate. But for me, I want whatever's easiest and requires the least amount of my time on those leads. Now, on the real estate stuff, it's much more in depth. So they're signing up for a list of homes between a certain price point, or maybe they're signing up for a list of golf course homes, or they're signing up for a list of luxury homes, or they're signing up for a list of first-time homes, or whatever it is that they're signing up for. That lead comes in, I automatically send them. It comes in through an automated system that we've set up, and it automatically goes into my customer relationship management database. I send them a welcome email saying, thanks for signing up for this list. Here's your list of houses. And it has, the list of however many houses fit that criteria. It's got information about me. It's got links to my testimonial videos. It has links to all my past sales. It has, all my social media links, things like that. That's step one. Then I'll go ahead and call them and ask them if they received that list of houses and take them through a pre-qualification script. But the truth is 9 times out of 10, they don't answer that call and it becomes what I'd consider an attempted contact. And like in my database right now, I probably have 3,500 leads in my real estate database. A lot of them, I'd say 80% of them are from these Facebook ads that we've run. And yeah, there are a ton that I've talked to and contacted, they're somewhere in the system as far as the process, but there's still, probably over 1,000 or 1,500 that are still in that attempted contact bucket. And I've still yet to make contact with them. And I go through and when I have time, I might sit and make 50 to 100 phone calls a day through that system, trying to make that initial contact. And once I make that contact, I qualify them based on their budget and their timeline and how long it's going to take them, to want to move to this area. And at that point, I'm responsible for following up with them. And it might even take a year or more for them to eventually pull the trigger and purchase that home. So it's really just kind of a nurturing process. And you do have to kind of sort through a lot of leads and a lot of data to find the golden nuggets, but they're in there,
Yeah. And I think that's probably one of the biggest things that I've come across is that sometimes business owners, and I'm not pointing anyone out specifically, but just in general, like when they hear a lead, they think someone's like on the other line ready to buy your product or service. And us as a marketing agency have to, coach business owners. Like we're getting people to raise their hand that they're interested. And what I found is that the lower price point is of the product or service is more of a volume game and less touch points are required.
Right.
And then the higher the product or service, or instance, buying a home, it's going to require more nurturing and having a more in-depth follow-up process.
Yeah. And I think also having some kind of, process in place. And I know for real estate, I have a system, but if I was a plumber or a roofer or, some other person, I think there needs to be a process on the business owner side of how are we going to deal with these? How are we going to categorize them? For me, like after I actually speak with the lead, I've got ways that I call them like an A lead, a B lead, or a C lead. And then the frequency at which I speak with these people or call them back, it depends on if they're an A, B, or C. So an A is like somebody that's ready to buy in the next 30 days. A B is somebody who's like under 3 months or 3 months to 6 months, I think it is. And then a C lead is people that are, 6 months to a couple years out. And if they're an A lead, I'm calling them every single week. And if they're a B lead, I'm calling them once a quarter. And if they're a C lead, I'm calling them, less often than that. So I think having somewhat of a plan in place, like if you're a plumber or a dentist or a roofer or whoever you are, okay, how are we going to qualify these people? And then once they're in our database, how are we going to set up a follow-up schedule based on the quality of that lead? Because not every lead is equal.
Exactly. And that's why I think sometimes it gets a little confusing in the marketing space, like who's responsible for like lead generation. And then once it comes into a business as a lead, and technically I feel like that starts to fall on like more of a sales role, and have someone in place or systems in place to do that nurturing and follow-ups through email, text message, phone calls, which we do with our clients. I mean, we can help coach them, but it's important to have some kind of person or system in place to follow up with leads, as they're coming in.
Right. And for me also, when people come in as a real estate lead, I also set them up on a property drip. So they're receiving, every time a new listing comes out that's in their kind of sweet spot of their budget, it's automatically sending them the listing updates. So that's kind of some automated follow-up that I'm not having to do. They're seeing my name on a regular basis coming into their inbox.
Right. So you mentioned maybe, 80% of the people you might not be able to get in touch with, and that may scare some people off. And I just want to clarify, again, it depends on the niche, right? So like a higher price point or product or service is going to take a little bit more work. But overall, it sounds like the ads have been still profitable for you. Is that correct?
Yeah. I mean, I've been doing them for years now, and I would have shut them off if they weren't, It's still, I mean, it might only be 4 or 5 deals a year for the real estate business, but, my average commission is probably $20,000. So I can make $100,000 off of these Facebook clients.
Yeah.
I can promise you I'm not spending $100,000.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure you're not spending $100,000 on ads. So can you talk about or speak about the byproduct, the other benefits besides just like strictly the leads? Do you get people that recognize you or mention like they've seen your ad, or, because there are benefits to running, even if it's a direct response campaign, you're still getting social recognition and building your brand awareness. So how's that been for you?
Yeah, I mean, because I'm running ads on Facebook primarily, I do some Google too, but, Facebook, everybody sees. And I have people all the time, especially even other agents, but people around the community, they're like, oh my God, I'm so tired of seeing you, man. I see you every time I log into Facebook, I see your ads popping up. And that's what I want, I mean, it's not necessarily, who it's how many people know you. So
very cool. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Just quick question before we wrap it up. If there's any business owner who's kind of been sitting on the fence, they want to get help with marketing, they're scared for some reason, what would you say to them, for them to reach out to us to, either work with us or even just a free strategy call to kind of see what they're doing and how we can help improve their marketing online?
Well, I think, in business and in life, you're either growing or you're dying. You're either expanding or you're contracting. You're never staying the same. And, they say the number one investment you can make is in yourself and your business. So if you're, at a certain point and your production level in your business is at a certain point and you're wanting to grow and you're not doing anything differently, then that's insanity, right? Doing the same thing and expecting different results is insanity. So you need to try something. And I would say, I've had good results with you and I would recommend you. I would say, give it a try and, make a small investment in yourself and your business.
Awesome. I appreciate that. Before I let you go, if anyone's looking for a realtor in the area, or Jim, do you want to tell us how they can reach out to you?
Sure. So my website, which you designed actually, thank you very much, is davidhsimcox.com. And there's a contact form in there and they can, get some information about me and my testimonials and past clients and things like that. And then if they want to become an extraordinary version of themselves, they can go to the gym website, which is mayriverfitness.com.
Awesome. I appreciate it. I really appreciate your time and you jumping on with me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate our friendship and I appreciate all the work you do for me, Pat.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that quick interview and I hope you found it helpful. If you're a small business owner looking to generate more leads, booked appointments, and sales leveraging social media advertising, feel free to reach out to me. Either drop me a comment, shoot me a message, or hit us up on our website. Thank you.